So just like Amador dropped the video, she dropped the video, and so his is deleted, but hers is now up. So let's see what she's gonna say.
What is a home warranty? It's a 1-year service plan that helps cover costs when parts of your
I'm like trying to be serious, but my fat ass cousin is eating pizza right here, bro. I've just been like with family, but recently there's been a lot of drama about me on the internet, and it's very overwhelming because it feels like my life is just being put out there out of context for like everyone's entertainment purposes. And I know, why the fuck are you laughing? Like, seriously, bitch? Come on, you're gonna have to get out. Start a new one? No, bitch. Look, I know that this is something that comes with being in the industry, right? Like, I know that it's gonna come with every platform. You know that I'm not a victim to it, but I definitely do deserve to tell my story and stand up for myself. And so I'm gonna start with Amador. I found out about Amador through a TikTok video that he made. He duetted one of my videos where I was getting a lot of hate for having braids in my hair, and I thought it was really sweet. So I reached out to him. We exchanged Snapchats, got each other's numbers, we started texting, and then we started calling each other. And this all happened the night before I was supposed to get flown out by Fora to go shoot for his merch. So Amador knew that from the beginning. Like I was very upfront with like, oh hey, where do you stay? Like whenever we're making small talk, and he's like LA, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna be out there for work, so I'm gonna have an Airbnb. If you want to come over and hang out, you know.
So that doesn't make sense because she literally sent him pictures of all the Airbnb choices and told him to choose. So I don't understand that at all.
You know, like you can. And that was basically it. Like it was nothing more at that point. And it's messed up that he's insinuating that like, oh, I flew out there like just for him. That I was that desperate.
When I FaceTimed her, and then it got down to us talking freaky, like she got a plane ticket to come see me, and she stayed up. I was like, yo, you kind of, you different. You different. Like you got connections. Like you just gonna fly like from Texas to Cali just to come get some of this.
I was working, you know, but about that whole situation with Fora, I had actually been, he reached out to me in March to shoot for his, or he reached out initially to make TikToks. And I don't know, it was whenever the whole breakup was fresh, and I just wasn't really trying to like be on my TikTok persona at that time. So I was just like, oh yeah, sure, but you know, I'm making music right now, you know, to kind of like let him know, like, hey, I would rather, you know, go this way, because like I had always looked up to his music. And then time goes by and he hits me up and he's like, hey, actually, like I would love to shoot you for my, you know, my merch company. And that was this was in the works. I was supposed to fly out that day. Like that date had been set for a while, is basically what I'm trying to get at. And I just really don't appreciate how Fora handled the whole situation, because he really made it seem like everything that was said was valid, by posting everything that he did on his story, like that, you know, used to being used and all of this. Like it makes me feel some type of way, because I, like, from the beginning it was never about using him. In the emails that his manager had sent me, like the contract that I didn't even sign, because like I trusted him, and I still, you know, have trust in him. I don't think he's a.
Let me know what you think about that part, because in all the other videos it says the proof, and that's, you know, just let me know what you think. If you watch all the other videos, you'll know.
He's a bad person. It said that they were gonna pay for my plane tickets there and back, that I was going to get an Airbnb, and that I was gonna have the merch, and that I was gonna get paid $2,500. So that was like our deal. And then exchange, I'm supposed to promote him, right? So not only am I modeling, but like I'm posting his brand. I did everything that I was supposed to do on my end. I posted his, merch. I actually posted a little bit more than what I should have. Like, I made a lot of TikToks in his hoodies. And people knew that it was yours truly, like I was really supportive, and I'm still very supportive, like I don't think that Marco's a bad person. I just think that he misinterpreted the situation, acted out of emotions, and chose feelings over facts.
It was made, and supposedly this person had used me and was lagging on me when I was like, yo, let's set something up. I was being professional, trying to set something up for obviously yours truly, trying to set up a little shoot and shit for the brand, yours truly clothing. And it was just like kind of a weird vibe. I thought it was cool. I thought everything was cool, but I started getting kind of like weird vibes. And I don't know. I'm not here to bash no one and shit, but when I found out what it really was, it's always like when you find out some shit. It's always when you find out like, oh damn, this person said this about me. Damn, this person was really saying this behind my back. What if Amador is partly clout chasing? I don't think he is. And I met him multiple times. I met Amador multiple times, and I feel like he a cool ass kid. I met that motherfucker a couple times, and he's always showed love. He's never gave me weird vibes. He's always been cool. So I just think he's being honest and defensive.
Which is really messed up because I overextended myself to him when this was all going down, and he still chose to not only post on his story, but after that texting me like, oh hey, don't worry about social media, just take a break. Like it just that whole situation just doesn't sit right with me. So we get to the Airbnb and there's not really much for us to do but sit there and watch TV or make TikToks. So we decided to do this bachata video because it was popping right then to do that challenge. And this is when I first started really noticing that he was getting kind of like controlling, like pushy, because he kept like we were just filming this TikTok like over and over and over again, and I'm just telling him like, dude, I'm tired, like, of course I'm like, oh my god, I'm tired, like I'm tired, but I kept saying it though, that it was like, hey, I'm not just being like flirtatious anymore, I'm tired of filming this TikTok, bro. And he's like, no, we'll get it, like just one more, we'll get it, we're gonna make so much money. It was my decision to continue saying yes to being in these TikToks, but it doesn't dismiss the fact that I did feel very pressured, and it was like a matter of oh, you gotta do this perfectly, oh, you gotta do this sexy, like there was a lot of underlying things that I think that is where I should have first noticed like the red flags. So after around 5 minutes of the video being up, I kind of started to feel really anxious, and I was letting him know like, hey, I'm kind of nervous because we look really touchy, and this is kind of like the first time that I'm basically like popping out with someone after my breakup. And as much as I feel like it shouldn't be a thing, I really do think that it is. And I was telling him I feel like we still have time to delete this before people screen record it and it gets everywhere. And I told him to private it, and he basically was just like making me feel like invalidating my feelings, like I was tripping. He made me feel like I was overreacting. And I felt like it was weird that he didn't want to take down the video, but I was in my head like, you know what, by the time that I even get on my phone, because it was kind of like a 2-minute conversation, by the time that I get on my phone, it's already going to be up, it's recorded. And I was right. The video had already been posted on another page, and it was blowing up like way more than his video. Like the original video was actually blowing up on his page. So I don't know. I remember asking him later that night one more time to take it down, and he said no. And so I just kind of gave up that night, like on that. So after that, it was kind of really awkward. Like, I don't know, we both were kind of just on our phones for a while. And I didn't really want not to stay like in this awkward stage with him, just because like I was like, dude, what's the point? Like, I don't know. I tried to make it friendly, so I rolled up backwood and I like started smoking to like offer this to him, and we actually kind of redeemed like the vibe like through that. Like we were able to crack a few jokes with each other, and it wasn't too bad until we decided, okay, he decided he was gonna take a shower, and then after his shower I got in the shower. After I got out, I was like super cold. I had my underwear.
So for that part right there, in his video, which is now deleted, but he might put it back up, he said that they took a shower together, and then he put up a video of both of them and both their hair was wet, and basically saying that they showered together and, you know, they did something else in the shower, but I don't need to get into that. If you want to see it, it's in my other videos. So let's just continue watching this.
Underwear on and like a tank top, and I had left my shorts like in my suitcase like outside of the restroom. And I understand I could have put a towel around my waist, you know, but I just didn't. I don't know, I didn't. And so I'm changing the temperature to make it hot. And like whenever I'm outside of the restroom doing this, he sees me and he's flirting with me, and it kind of made me feel like it made me feel comfortable again, you know. I don't know. And so I was just like, well, come here, you know. And he came to the.
So now she's saying that she feels comfortable, but before, earlier in the video, she said she felt like he was being pushy and pressured. So I don't know, like, what is it? And let me know what you guys think down below.
To the restroom, and then he pulled out his phone like he was like looking at sounds for TikTok, or maybe he was already like on TikTok. And then he picks a sound, and so we do a video right there, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen. Sorry, boo. Yeah, I lied to you, but don't you lie.
Yeah, so if you want to watch that, just go to the other one. And as you can see,
He grabbed his phone, and I just started recording out of nowhere. But he was looking like it was the same sounds that he was playing in the restroom that I was hearing. And then he like looks like he was about to record me. And I was right, because whenever I take his phone, it was already like on a draft. Okay, I know this is weird. Y'all probably like, what the fuck? I just forgot to put this in the video, and honestly, I was too lazy to like pick another picture, so I just screenshotted my lock screen for this duration. But I had forgot to mention that he went on TikTok after the fact and contradicted himself by basically admitting that he was on his phone on TikTok. By the way, it's the 5th today, so that's why y'all are probably like, what?
I just want to clarify that I was being my own TikTok. She took my phone and started recording herself on top of me, drafted the video, didn't tell me not to share it or post it.
So I flipped the camera, and I just kind of like, I decided like, hey, I'm going to record instead. And now that I'm looking back at it, I think it was my way of trying to like get my power, like to have control of the situation. But yeah, I was recording myself, and after I did that, we continued to make out for like a few more minutes, and that's whenever he tried to push my head down to like give him head, and I wasn't really messing with that. I ignored it the first time, and the second time like I didn't really know that he was doing it. Like it was like a little more subtle, and then the third time he was very like not super aggressive, but it was a little more like intense, and it just really triggered me. I felt really like assaulted. So I got up and I went to the restroom. I took my shorts. Like I was in there for a while. I was kind of on my phone, and then whenever I came back out, like it wasn't like a thing. Like it was like nothing had happened. Like the TV was already on, and so I'm like, okay, cool. Like we're just gonna watch a movie. I was on my phone like for the whole thing, and then we just ended up falling asleep on the couch. So the next morning, before I move on to the next morning, that night we were watching the movie, there was a point where he was on his phone too, and he was looking through our drafts, and like I was like telling him like, no, delete that one, because like I felt like I looked bad in some of those videos. And I was like moving my finger like across the screen to like insinuate to like delete the one that I had took of me in my underwear and my tank top on him. And he kind of like hesitated, and he was just like, why do you want me to have this? Like, do you think that I'm gonna do something with it? And I was just like, oh, like, I mean, no. And he was like, you really think I would do that? And I was like, no, like, okay, like, my bad. Like, I just felt like I looked bad. Like, I just don't like how I looked, you know? He's like, well, yeah, you don't have to worry about like that, you know? So I trusted him, and I left the video on his phone. That was that. Next morning, I forgot to say this, but I never consented to that video being put out there on the internet of me. I never wanted, especially with the smallest censor box, that video being out there. And not only did he post it on YouTube for the whole world to see, but 2 days before he posted it on YouTube, he sent it to Gabe without the censor box out of spite. So that's something that I just had to outlive with. That was that. Next morning, I have to shoot for Fora. So I was kind of feeling bad that he had bought me like all this weed. I don't know. He didn't really need to do that. That was nice of him. And so in return, I was like, hey, you know what? Well, let me just come with me to shoot, and maybe I can try to like get you in there with Fora. Like, and he had already worked with Fora previously for like a TikTok promo, he told me. But I was just kind of like, okay, well, we can get like maybe you could work too, you know. And so we go over to Fora's, to Marco's, and everything was so much better. Like, I felt so much more comfortable because like we weren't just alone. And then not only that, like I was able to focus on like my work, you know, like the photo shoot, like, and just kind of just take everything in. Like, it was really cool. I had been looking up to Forrest since I was little, you know, or probably like 7th grade. So it was like a really cool experience, and I was just really soaking it all in. But I was in like short shorts for the shoot, and that was just the wardrobe. It wasn't anything deeper than that. But I'm standing on the 2nd floor, and I didn't know that he was live streaming, but I guess Amador he was live, and he kept showing me from this angle where you can obviously see like me, and I caught him, and I like covered myself up, and I was just like, dude, is he on live? Like, oh my god. And then I realized right there that he was. And so he comes upstairs, and I try to take the camera away from him because like I just felt like he was like, I could hear him laughing, and I just felt like the comments were, because everything was so fresh right there. And you know how whenever things are fresh and you live stream, like people are gonna ask you about the topic, you know. So I felt like he was getting confronted with that a lot, and he was not handling it the way that he should have. Like, he was kind of like laughing it off like it wasn't a big deal. And me, I'm like, dude, I don't want people like thinking that we're actually a thing because they're like saying best or like kiss, and he's just like, guys, I'm gonna go up there and hug her right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would just, I did not like it. So whenever I took his phone and I'm reading his comments, I was just trying to like steer the conversation into a different way because it was just flooded with like, you know, couple shit. Like we were a couple, and I really didn't like that.
Y'all, she's tiny. She looks hella small in the pictures, but she's not.
I forgot exactly how it happened. I'll just put it up here. But I basically just told him, I told like the audience, like, nah, he's single, like that's free game. And he took the camera back, and he just like showed himself like he was so offended, like, oh, okay. Like, it basically just made, and then right after that I looked at him and I'm like, oh, why would, like, what the fuck? Like, it got really weird after that.
Who? He's cheating on us? No, I'm not.
Y'all, he is single. That is free game.
You said that's free game.
Ladies, don't chill out, bro.
I bet. Y'all heard it? Any MILFs out there? I'm just playing. Bruh. She's one What's that? What's wrong with that?
Like if you like watch the live, it's up on YouTube too. I'll put it right here. It was very like I was just like I was not fucking with that. That was when I like also really distanced myself because I'm like, okay, dude, like that's like, you know, it was just childish. And you could tell that he felt like awkward too. And it was just like I had ended up telling him like, hey, can you just get off? Like I was like mouthing to him like, can you get off? Because I did not want to be on live. So after that live stream, he shoots, I shoot. I stopped talking to him because at this point I'm really upset at him. So he left to go to like T-ball or I don't know. He does something like where he's like baseball. He left to go do that, and I saw that he had posted after he left. He had posted a selfie of us that we had taken earlier that morning, like whenever vibes were good. He had posted that selfie, and then he tags me in the feed post. He puts big head instead of tagging me, and then not only does he post that, but he reshared it on his story with a heart, which is just very flirtatious to me. And I feel like if I'm telling you like, hey, I don't want to be looked at this way, you know, I don't need people thinking this of us, then it's just it's like, you know what you're doing listening to me and hearing me say this and then going behind my back as soon as you leave and posting this instead. So later on that night, he had texted me to ask if I wanted him to come over. It wasn't, I was really upset at him, so it wasn't a matter of me wanting him to come over, but I felt like he had already had all of his stuff at the Airbnb, and I would have rather had talked to him about it that night, everything that like we had gone through that day, as opposed to letting it drag on and him getting his stuff like the day that I leave to the airport. Like I kind of wanted to cut it like that night, you know? And so he gets over to the Airbnb, and whenever he gets there to the place, I immediately like just confronted him about it, and we started talking. And I got really upset at him because in me talking to him about this and letting him know like, hey, I feel really uncomfortable, I'm explaining to him so respectfully that it's literally not even him, it's just me. I wasn't like I felt like I wasn't ready to like be on the internet with another boy, and I did it anyways, and it's too late, and it wasn't his fault, you know. But like the fact that the video, like he had kept the video up, and then he was also like that day whenever he had left, I think he had privated it and then he like put it back up, which just made more questions rise about it. You know, I'm telling him everything that is making me uncomfortable that he's doing, and it just seemed like he was victimizing himself. Like he got sad and he cried in front of me, and I felt for him, you know. But at the same time, it's pissing me off because I'm like, dude, like you can't even just sit here and understand that this makes me uncomfortable. You keep doing these, like you keep.
Okay, so her problem is she wasn't ready to be on the internet. In his video, he makes it seem like something else. So, I don't know. I really don't know with these two.
Doing this, you know, like I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to just sit here and babysit you, bro. Like that's not right, you know. And he had asked me, he was like, well, do you want me to leave? And I was like, yeah, honestly, like I really would like my space. And he was like, well, I'm a little too tired, so you know, like I think I'm just gonna stay here, I'm too tired to drive. And I know that he had lived like 2 hours or an hour and a half away from the Airbnb, so at that point I was not even trying to deal with it. I was like, okay, well, can you go upstairs? And I stayed in that room that like I locked myself in that first room that night, and I was on the phone with my friend the whole night because it was a lot. Like I was feeling a lot of things. Not only was I sad and I felt lonely, but I felt like used, you know, because I'm telling him over and over like, hey, I don't like this, and he just keeps posting, you know. And then like feeding into it. So the next morning we wake up and we clean. It was very like minimal words. We weren't really talking to each other like that. I was very disassociated. Like I was in my own world. I wasn't really able to be super friendly with him, and I'm pretty sure he noticed that. So excuse me, he told me like, hey, like before you go to the airport, do you want to go to Venice? And I was just like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, I don't know, I didn't have anything else to do. For me, it was either wait at the airport all day or go to Venice. you know? And so when we get there, we were doing our own thing. Like, he had his skateboard, so he was just skating, and I walked the pier alone. I went and got like a drawing of me, and I went through crystal shops, which is something that I actually really want to address, because for me, there is nothing, I have nothing against positive brujeria. You know, I personally like would own up to that shit if I were to do that, because there's no shame. Like, I've thought about it before, I'm not even gonna lie, bitch. But that, in the most respectful way, this is not someone that I wanted to be obsessed with me. Like, this is not someone that I would want to waste my energy like trying to plant a rose quartz in his car. I had got that for me, and I put it in my back pocket whenever I'm walking the pier alone. And I wanted this for my fucking necklace. Like, it's literally a necklace pendant, you know. And it was on his seat, like on the passenger seat. Bitch, if I wanted to plant that, he wouldn't have found it. Sorry for the joke, but yeah. I think it's really stupid that he didn't even think of it like that, but as soon as he saw a comment saying like, oh my god, the rose quartz, like, sis, really did you like that? He's like capitalizing off of the fact that I'm trying to like cast this spell on him, to cover up the fact that it's really just him being very obsessive on his own. Whether it's because he can't acknowledge and accept the fact that I do not want to be with him, that at first I was down to have him as a sneak link, and then I decided and had the right to say no, or it's probably multiple factors. But yeah, that wasn't the only thing that I left behind too. It was also my portrait. That is not something that I just wanted him to have. So I was obviously in a rush after we left the pier, or after, yeah, Pier Venice. I'm sorry, I'm not really familiar with like LA terminology, or if that is even, you know, differentiated right there. I'm not sure. But whenever we were on our way to the airport, it was very awkward. Whenever we got there, I had told him like, hey, can you please stop like privating and unprivating the videos, because it's just gonna make everything look really like weird. He said yes. Then I told him, okay, do you think maybe you can delete that video, like of me in my underwear? And he agreed. And so we were like, okay, cool. We hugged, whatever. Like, it was awkward. I didn't know like what. I was just like, okay, thanks, like, for dropping me off. You know, like I don't know. It was really weird. I ran to my plane. Like, I got out of there as soon as I sat on that plane. I unfollowed him. I just really wanted nothing to do with him, because I'm sorry, I was just so happy to just be out of like that car. Like, I was so happy to just be alone on my way back home. So nothing like really, like, I didn't text him after that at all. He had asked me like, hey, did you unfollow me? I told him, I was like, hey, it's nothing personal. It was, but like, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I was like, hey, look, it's nothing personal. I unfollow a lot of people. And whenever, okay, so sorry, I'm trying to like get my thoughts together. A few weeks, I don't know if it was probably like a week later after that, or a few weeks. I'm sorry, the time, I'm really bad at, I feel so that, yeah. But he had posted this video of him and this other girl dancing bachata, and I'm not sure if it was to get back at me, because I just found it a little weird that the trend was like over for a while, and it just seemed like he wanted to latch on to like doing it again to bring more attention to the situation. But yeah, so he does this video, and then he responds to a comment, kind of insinuating, or he straight up said Miss P wanted me to touch her like that, to a comment asking, hey, how come you're not grabbing this girl like how you grab Paeka? And so whenever I saw that comment, I'm not, yeah, straight up, I lied. I replied to that, and I was like, no, because what I felt like we weren't gonna do is sit there and like actually let people believe that I told him you can put your hands lower on me, because that was never said. Did I accept you to put your hands on me? Yeah, in the moment, like, I was okay with it. I gave him consent for that, but I never told him to put your hands lower on me. Like, that was never what it was. And I was just super embarrassed of even being like ever associated with this guy, because I did not know about any of his previous scandals. I did not do my research. Like, I felt like I just made a very bad like judgment of, like, I made a very bad judgment of character on this person. And so I did not want to be associated, especially knowing that we didn't even do anything. I did not want to be associated with him like that. So if whenever I'm seeing him talking down, being like, nah, Miss P wanted me to grab her like that, I'm thinking like, you're coming, like, you're basically trying to tell, like, you're trying to tell people that I got with you like that. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how people want to take it, that was how I was feeling. And so I'm feeling like, nah, homeboy, I'm gonna, like, I'm not, that's not how, like, I just had to go against that. I understand that he got hate for that, and I do apologize because no one deserves hate. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt myself, but I'm gonna keep it a $150 with you. I did not want to, was not going to claim this guy, period. So after I made that comment, I went ahead and texted him about it. And after our conversation I brought to him, I have not talked to him since, but I think, if I'm not, man, you guys are gonna have to correct me on this because I'm serious, I don't remember the facts of the time right now. But he went live after I texted him that it was at like 3 in the morning, and he showed the video that we took after my shower, which was, I felt like that was already very, like, exposing and violating to me to, have that out there for everyone to see. It's before he went live though, and put it on live, he had sent Gabe these videos uncensored. And I know I said that before, but I just find it weird that not only did you post a live stream of this, you texted it to Gabe, and you're showing all your friends, and you're putting it on YouTube. Like, I just felt like I didn't even text him whenever that shit happened, because I'm like, why? What is the point? There's no point for me to text him. And I honestly feel like this is a big reason why he's doing all of this, because he's not getting the reaction that he wants.
Nah, they haven't texted me about shit. They're probably doing something. I don't know. They're probably doing the nasty too. Shit.
He's not getting any attention from me. The attention that he's going to get is legal attention, because this is literally revenge porn. Regardless of if I took the video or not, I did not consent for it to be out there, and that's that.
Didn't tell me not to share it. I posted. I know it may seem a little bit childish and disrespectful, and yeah, maybe I could have covered up a little bit better, but I wanted to show our tattoos. And I had said in the video, I'm showing this video so she can't flip the situation on me, so because it's hard to argue against somebody with a big ass platform with hella supporters, like the first time, y'all didn't believe shit I was saying until I came out with the video. And so she couldn't say I forced anything upon her, because that video clearly shows her recording the video on top of me, and I'm just sitting there. It's not right to expose people like fully nude or anything, or post anybody without the consent. I get that, but in my situation, I kind of had to kind of save myself, But yeah, y'all stay safe out there.
I still don't understand what he needed saving from, but even after saving himself with this video, supposedly, he has still continued to make very inappropriate and disrespectful, I wouldn't even consider them jokes, like actions about me.
She came twice, bro. I was so like proud of myself. I was so proud of myself. I was like, did I just make this girl gone? I was really like thinking about life, bro. I was thinking about life. I was like, did this really just happen? And then I did it again. Like, I did this shit again. Like, when I FaceTimed her, and then it got down to us talking freaky, like, she got a plane ticket to come see me, and she stayed up. I was like, yo, you kind of, you different. You different. Like, you got connections. Like, you just gonna fly, like, from Texas to Cali just to come get some of this. I'm gonna also speak about that, because I'm getting a little bit of hate for that, for me putting that in. Okay. See, like, a lot of shit, like, girls will lie on a guy and be like, oh, he forced me, blah, 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 this and that, And that's why I put the video in there, so she can't say that shit, because she's the one that recorded the video on my fucking phone. First of all, I didn't show her face. I covered up her fucking titties. Like,
I'm sorry.
still had
The censor part still showed some stuff,
she had clothes on. Like, her nipples wasn't out. Like it was like her wearing a bikini, basically.
we met her for 3 days.
Okay, y'all. Literally, okay. We FaceTimed. On the second FaceTime call, she came to see me. Like, what's that gotta say about somebody, you know? Like, she came all the way to Cali, bro. Like, are you good though? I feel alright, you know?
But I'm confused. Why are you crying?
I'm not crying. I'm just tired.
It looks like you're crying.
No, like my
and then you're on live, like going hella in.
Oh wait, I didn't say I would stop.
But you said like you understood that what you did was wrong.
I understood the fact that I like maybe I shouldn't have posted like that part of the video.
So then why are you on here like saying more shit?
I mean, I'm just going live, you know.
But bro, you know what you're doing. Like you literally just said like she only lasts a minute. Oh, I made her come twice. Like I get it. If you're trying to be funny and you're trying to troll, do that. But don't be like messed up in the DMs. Play like something and then be on live and saying another thing. You know what I mean?
Well,
then you just
I DMs like I'm not like I didn't mean it like I'm just said like you were bashing, and I was like
that when we were in the DMs like you being on here, it's bashing. Don't you think that's a little messed up if you knew what you did was wrong? It's kind of like about accountability. If you knew you're wrong, you kind of just stay silent. But again, if you're trying to do it to troll, that's fine. But you should start that from the beginning. You shouldn't be like, oh, all of this is fact. And that's what you're doing on your live. You know, is that not like clicking for you?
I mean, I kind of just make the situation like funny, you know, because that's kind of how I cope with everything. Like, you know,
and that like I get it. Like you want to be funny, but to say like, oh, this bitch came twice. I was laughing. I didn't think I can do that. Or oh, she only lasted a minute. Like that's not you did. And I'm on a Zoom call. Everyone, 100 people heard it.
But I read a comment and I was like, somebody had said, "Bro, lasted a minute," and I read the comment out loud. That's what I did. Shit, cause like I don't even know, cause when I did it with her, it was for a minute. Like I lasted for a while. Okay. I'm gonna just crack head ass. You need to cleanse yourself. How do I do that? Wait, how do I do that? Do I like just hop in the shower right now? Do I hop in the shower? I didn't say.
Okay.
Yeah, I read a comment. I didn't say that.
Okay, well I thought you said it, but
no,
I
wouldn't be like I'm not gonna bash her for any type of that, you know, like.
Okay, well,
because somebody said, "Bro, lasted a minute." And that's what I said.
Okay, well I just didn't understand because I mean, like I said.
Okay, yeah, like I understand that, but like you could have like texted me too, you know. You don't gotta come at me on the live.
I didn't. I literally went on Zoom and everyone said go on here. So I went on here, and while I'm on here, the first thing I hear is the whole I made her come twice, da da da. So automatically I'm like, this dude literally just told me he's sorry.
I can't
hear you right now. It's like glitching. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm gonna just take you off.
What?
Watch the video on my YouTube before you come to my page hating. Go watch the whole video. I'm the only one that has receipts. This goes to guys and girls. You do not have to lead somebody on to do the nasty with them. Literally, honesty and communication is the best fucking thing ever. Like, if you were just honest with that person and you just like, you know what, I just want to hit. Like, you just trying to hit, you know. I'm pretty sure that they'd be fucking down to do it. Like, you don't gotta lead them on. And it saves so much time and energy. Like, if y'all want to do that, you could just get right to it. Like, you don't gotta fucking waste their fucking time. This goes to guys.
The next thing that I want to talk about is the breakup. And I'm going to start with, I think that it's very disrespectful how he's making content. Like, he's basically like using this, like capitalizing off of this situation.
I'm addicted to finessing, I'm addicted to finessing, I'm addicted to finessing, I'm addicted to finessing. What?
What do you think about Amador's video? Any thoughts, or would you just want to stay quiet about it?
I have one thing to tell him. You messed up, bro. You messed up on the fact that you didn't put no ads, bro. You fumbled the bag, bro. You fumbled the bag, bro.
Bro, 2 point, how many views? Bro, you missed out on.
You know the watch time on that.
Bro. Will you be making a YouTube video soon explaining your situation, explaining your POV?
I'm starting there because that's like very fresh. Like, that's messed up to me, and especially because whenever Amador first posted his YouTube video, Yerohan had reached out to me, and I had confided in him with how I felt, and he told me that I had nothing to worry about. Like, hey, I'm not gonna post anything about you, so like, just to take some stress off, you know, you can know that. And I just feel like there is no reason for him to lie, you know, and it's just, I should have known, because he's very two-faced like that, you know. But I guess I was just so alone, and I really believed that like he was there to help and comfort me. And just that small moment, you know, since we had not spoken like that. I had reached out to him before he had sent that message, like the day before, and I was just like, hey, like, would you like to sit down and film this video together? You know, like, I was petty on Twitter, but I want to do this right. Basically trying to help him too, because the fact is he cheated on me multiple times in our relationship. I've decided that I'm not going to post any of the proof that I have of him cheating in this video, or just in general, because not only would that not solve anything at this point, but like, it's just for everyone's entertainment purposes, and it's going to not only put me through it again, but publicly. And it does put him at risk to also getting his career, like putting it in jeopardy. And as much as I really dislike who he is and who he's been, I don't want that for him. So that was also why I never spoke up about it in the beginning. And I think I would really like for you guys to respect me on that. I know a lot of people are going to say like, oh, well, then she never had any proof. That's okay. I am going to clear my name though, because it's very manipulative and defaming how he's trying to switch the narrative now to insinuate that I was the one who was disloyal to him. Excuse me. So here are messages that I have of him responding to a fake screenshot whenever we first broke up that was going around about me cheating. It has been over 3 months since our breakup was public, and I deserve the right to be happy and not picked apart and overanalyzed, and not have my content overanalyzed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I deserve to move on, and I even he deserves to move on. Like, our comment sections are about each other. That's so unhealthy. Like, regardless of, oh, he did something wrong, if you feel like I did something wrong, it's just not, it's so draining regardless. So the next thing that I would like to address is the drama that the Wikis have with me. Our first LA trip that we took over there, like, all the content that you guys saw, that was real. Like, I mean, at least for Yerohan and I, like, that was genuine, like, vibes. Like, we got along so well. I felt like it was like a movie how much fun we had, and I'm so happy that we were able to share that. But unfortunately, it just wasn't like that the second time around. We were in the works of we were talking, all of us were talking about making a TikTok house together, because that's what a lot of people wanted to see that, and we were having a lot of fun too. So this is something that we were pushing in the beginning. Turns out the Wiggies, they wanted to do Vibe House instead. That was fine. We were all happy for them because, you know, we're like, hey, dude, you got this opportunity, like, take it, you know, that's great. So whenever we were supposed to come back the second trip, we were all supposed to stay in the same house, but they a response. So I told her, like, right then and there, I was just like, okay, well, if you feel like that, like, you gotta for it, you know? And they had not seen us for the first few days that we were in LA until the night that it got really bad, that they were getting hit. They came over for an hour, we got drunk, we made content, and then they left. And this is where this night is where I started to feel really weird about them, or not weird, but this is where I distanced myself, because Emily and I, we ended up going to the restroom together, and I'm sitting in the bathtub and she's sitting down, you know, and we're talking, and she's telling me about this guy that, like, had came with them to, like, the house, and something was going on between them, and I was like, girl, I know, like, you're not telling me, like, you haven't told me, you know, like, I was basically like, dude, you haven't talked to me, you know. And she looked at me, like, super, like with the saddest eyes, and she was just like, I know, it's because we don't trust you. And I was like, that, I didn't expect that. It hit me, it completely, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it just that just completely threw me off guard, and I didn't know how to respond. So I told her, like, right then and there, I was just like, okay, well, if you feel like that, like, you gotta feel like that. Like, don't be crying right now, you know, because I haven't done anything to make you feel like you shouldn't trust me, you know. And so I left the restroom and I just went to bed. Like, I told Gerohan about it that night, and it was like, whatever, you know, dude. Like, I did not even come up into my head that trust was a factor here, that like, they were lacking from me, you know. But yeah, the next day we talked about it, and they told me, the girls, they were just like, well, it's nothing personal, and that they just have trust issues with everybody, which is understandable. But, you know, to these people, whatever, they can't even be straight up about how they feel. That's how you feel, that's okay, but you could have told me a long time ago. Like, in my shell, but I'm also learning how to be a better role model for everybody who watches me. Sometimes I make mistakes. I want to hold myself accountable. I'm sure in my career, there's gonna be a lot more things that I'm gonna have to talk and explain. But regardless of that, it's never a valid enough reason to send that much hate to a person, or to their family. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and have a good night. I just finished making this video. I'm literally tired as fuck, child. What time is it?
Wow, that was very long. Just seeing both of the videos is like, it puts your mind in a different perspective, because now I don't know what to think about Amador. And I don't know really what to think about her, because hearing both stories, not everything matches up. And if you did watch both videos, and if you haven't, just go back on my channel, and it's like probably one of the first videos I put out. I don't know, if you watch both of them, let me know what you think in the comment section. And guys, don't forget to subscribe, because I'm trying to hit 1,000 by the end of this month, and I can only do it with your guys' help. So yeah.